The leaves are just starting to change up here in the woods of Craftsbury, Vermont.
Yeah, we're way up here in the northern part of the state, and it already feels like fall, Ray.
Oh, what was that just ran by?
Yeah, I think it looks like a deer.
You're right. I can see the white tail trailing behind him.
The thing we're looking for is much larger than a deer, Ray.
Oh, okay. Well, what are we looking for?
We're searching for a giant of a creature, 8 feet tall with claws, but almost human-looking. We're in Craftsbury, searching for the Goonyak. Hello, I'm Jeff Belanger.
And I'm Ray Auger. Welcome to episode 265 of the New England Legends podcast. Thank you for joining us on our mission to chronicle every legend in New England, one story at a time.
We can't do what we do without you. If you've got a local legend to share with us, please contact us anytime through our website. We love hearing from you. And while you're on our website, you can see all of the upcoming dates for my fall story tour. You can check out the dates for Ray's band, the Pub Kings, and there's links to buy the brand new 2023 Haunted New England calendar with stories by me and photography by Frank Grace.
Now, before we go searching for the Goonyak, we want to take just a minute to tell you about our sponsor, Nuati Herbals.
Ray, when we're hiking through the woods looking for strange beasts, it can take a heavy toll on our feet.
No kidding. My dogs are always barking after a woodsy hike.
Then it's a good thing we've got Nuati Herbals in our corner, Ray. Everyone knows Nuati Herbals for all of their great natural teas, but they also make creams, balms, and oils. When we're done with today's hike, we should indulge in some Barefoot Soak by Nuati Herbals.
That sounds perfect. Barefoot Soak is a natural blend of bath salts, herbs, and essential oils designed to soothe and freshen your weary feet. You mix a quarter cup of Barefoot Soak with a gallon of warm water, then soak for 15 or 20 minutes.
And when you're done, after you pat your feet dry, reach for some Nuati Herbals Bare Feet Cream.
When the weather turns colder and the air inside gets dry, my feet crack, and Bare Feet Cream helps a lot with its blend of natural ingredients. After a soak and some Bare Feet Cream, I'm ready to go back on the trail.
Let Nuati Herbals help support your healthy lifestyle. Check out the Nuati Herbal website to see all their great products. And, of course, you get 20% off your order when you use the promo code LEGENDS20 at checkout. Visit NuatiHerbals.com. That's Nuwati Herbals with an S.com.
All right, Jeff, the Goonyak?
It's a great name, right?
Yeah.
And we first learned about this one from my buddy David Weatherly's brand new book, Monsters of the Green Mountain State, Cryptids and Legends of Vermont, with a foreword by Joseph A. Citro. And I love the name and just started digging.
Now, what is a Goonyak?
So it's described as an 8-foot-tall, humanoid-type creature with claws, like half man, half animal.
All right, well, why can't we just say Bigfoot?
I know, I totally get it. Well, there are a couple of issues at play here. On the one hand, if I described an 8-foot-tall, primate, human type of creature, in the circles we roll in, just about every single person would immediately say Bigfoot.
Of course. I mean, it fits the description.
It does. But some folks don't like using the word Bigfoot because we may think they're crazy. So they come up with something else.
An upright giant primate by any other name would smell as sweet, right?
No, absolutely. And very cultured of you quoting Shakespeare, right?
I feel like we need to class things up a bit here.
That makes sense.
Okay, so here's a little more background about where we are. The land for this town was first granted to Ebenezer Crafts back in 1791. So the town is named Craftsbury after him.
Sure.
The population today is about 1,200 people, and we're just about 25 miles from the Canadian border as the ghost flies. By all accounts, this is a small town way up north.
That it is. There's not much population around for miles. So just maybe an 8-foot-tall humanoid could slip by unnoticed. Plus, a few decades ago, this region would have been even more sparsely populated. So let's head back to 1978 and find out.
It's mid-November of 1978 here in Craftsbury, Vermont. Jimmy Carter is president of the United States, and the song MacArthur Park by Donna Summer is #1 on the charts. But here in Craftsbury, the big news is the strange talk around town, as well as in nearby Morrisville, about a monster lurking and hunting for prey at some local farms.
It's kind of office water cooler gossip, but it sticks out around here. Most folks know what kind of animals live in this region. So if something's out of the ordinary, it's worth talking about.
Seems like everyone around here has an opinion of what this animal could be. Maybe a sick bear, one with rabies, a moose with mange rearing up. Suddenly everyone is a zoologist.
The thing is, locals, especially the hunters and farmers, pride themselves on knowing the difference between the animals that occasionally wander through their properties. But then something big happens. It's Saturday, November 18th. about 4 a.m. at this Craftsbury farm. The farmer was just heading out to feed his animals when he heard that horrific noise.
The farmer is now running towards his barn where his prize Holstein bull is penned up.
Whoa, look at that!
Wow, the barn door has just been ripped off the hinges and shattered. Oh, look over there.
Oh my, it's awful. The farmer's 1,000-pound Holstein bull is being dragged out toward the field by some giant creature. That must be the Goonyak.
Look at the bull's neck.
Oh.
It's been snapped like a twig. This is awful. There's a trail of blood behind the bull.
Okay, the farmer's now in full sprint toward his house. Okay, he's back with a shotgun in hand. He's dropping bullets as he loads his rifle and runs towards his bull and whatever that creature is that's dragging it.
Oh, I think the farmer hit the beast, but it's still moving. The farmer is getting close. There's not much daylight yet, but I think those shots are finding their mark. But the Goonyak is still moving.
He's definitely hitting this thing right in the chest. It just let go of the bull. The giant beast is stumbling.
Oh, I don't see that thing breathing, Jeff.
Oh, it took 10 shots to bring him down.
Look at that poor bull, too. Part of its face has been torn off.
I've never seen anything like this. Check out the claws on the Goonyak. Wow. They have to be at least 6 inches long.
In Craftsbury, a giant creature, 8 feet tall with claws, almost human-looking.
Over the next couple mornings, the local radio is talking about the Goonyak, too. They're having some laughs with the whole story, but taking it just serious enough that soon everyone is talking about it.
And now that the Goonyak has been killed, I mean, we should be able to study it, right?
Yeah.
Let's recover the body. Let's call the universities. Let's reach out to the media.
Whoa, Jeff. I just heard that someone else in town shot and killed a Goonyak.
So there's another one?
I'm not sure, but they're saying Craftsbury's Fish and Game Warden, John Capusta, shot and killed the Goonyak.
Okay, this is weird. I mean, is this an invasion? We should go talk to Capusta.
We just arrived at the Fish and Game Warden's office.
I think that's John up ahead. Hey, John, did you shoot the Goonyak?
He just laughed and shook his head no. Turns out his boss had already approached him this morning asking if the rumors were true.
Maybe we should head back to the farm. I mean, at least we know there's a dead one there, right? Let's head back out to the field. We need to find a camera, Ray, and get some people to look at this thing.
Okay, where'd it go?
It was right here. I can see the bull's body, but no Goonyak.
Excuse me, where did the Goonyak go? He said some folks from the University of Vermont had already been by to take the corpse away for an autopsy in Burlington.
This is getting stranger by the minute. Okay, before we make the drive out to Burlington, let's make a phone call over to the university. Hello? Okay, I have Dr. Eleanor McQuillan on the line. She's the chief medical examiner and a professor of animal pathology, zoology, and botany at the University of Vermont.
Sounds like the Goonyak is in the right hands.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So are you doing an autopsy on the Goonyak? The Goonyak. The Bigfoot creature that was just shot and killed in Craftsbury. Hello? Hello? She just laughed and hung up.
All right, so we have no body and one overactive rumor mill. I guess that brings us back to today.
Everything we know about this story was pulled from the November 30th, 1978 Rutland Herald Daily newspaper. It was a front-page story written by Kevin Duffy.
Now, I feel obligated to read the headline of this article. It says, Goonyak reports debunked, but rumors of his exploits captivate northern Vermont.
Reporter Kevin Duffy was pretty thorough in his article. I mean, he tried his best to get to the source, and he got close. Game wardens speculated that maybe someone found a skinned bear carcass in the woods, and that started the stories.
Duffy found the earliest mention of the Goonyak was either Monday, November 20th, or Tuesday, the 21st, when 21-year-old John Mescal heard about it from a coworker at the Pratt & Reed Corporation in Morrisville. They make lumber products. Mescal heard about it from an older coworker named Morris Sulham. Of course, Sulham wouldn't comment for the reporter.
So the story is born. It gets around enough that people are talking about it. The local radio makes mention of it on multiple days, and then the newspaper does its level best to say there's no body of this creature and no real evidence, so it's just a made-up story.
It's also worth noting that all we know is, quote, a local farmer, end quote.
Right.
Yeah. If the farmer had a name, there's no doubt Kevin Duffy would have asked him.
Yet the story of the Goonyak stuck around long after, debunked or not. It stuck around because it sounds like a Bigfoot creature, the Northeast Kingdom's own local version of Bigfoot, one with sharp claws, powerful enough to take down a half-ton bull. The story doesn't go away because Bigfoot doesn't go away. And maybe someone did see something big and strange lurking in these Vermont woods, and the legend of the Goonyak grew from there.
And now we're still talking about it decades later.
We are, and that brings us to After the Legend, where we take a deeper dive into this week's story, and often veer off course.
After the Legend is brought to you by our Patreon patrons. Our Patreon patrons are the best support we have. They help us with all of our ongoing costs, from production to hosting to marketing, travel, and more. It's just $3 per month. It's like buying me and Jeff a cheap frozen dinner each month that we can split while we work on finding new legends to share
Yum.
with you. Yeah. Plus, our patrons get early access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. Just head over to patreon.com/New England Legends to sign up.
Okay, Ray, Bigfoot stories.
Yeah. I love Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I think that was my first monster crush as a kid.
Aw, that's sweet.
And then it was Nessie after that.
Right, yeah. And Bigfoot's because we're like, okay, we must know every square inch of the planet by now, right?
Absolutely.
But we kind of don't. But how do you miss something that big?
It's the underground caverns that they've been digging for, centuries.
This gets to the heart of it. Now, I've known a few cryptozoologists, Lauren Coleman, for one, and people that study this stuff. And there's some division in those groups. There's people that say it's a primate, just like a great ape, just like a baboon, just like a human. Just they're few and far between, and they're elusive. I struggle with that one because no hunter's killed it yet. No one's.
It's smart though.
Found a dead one.
I've never thought that this was a unintelligent creature because it's evading us. It's staying away. It's staying hidden. But it knows what it's doing. But it's big also.
Right.
So how do you miss that if you're a hunter?
Okay, fine. So it's smart, but then doesn't one die or get a heart attack and croaks and no one finds the body?
No, they live healthy lifestyles.
Very healthy.
They're vegan for one thing.
Well, that's part of the point of the story, right? So I mean,
wouldn't you see a dead carcass? Is that what you mean? Maybe there's a carcass hanging around, half eaten.
Maybe, yeah. So I don't know
what caused this.
Right.
Look at the bite marks. It's much like if there's something chewed in the ocean. They check the bite marks.
So the other school of thought is that the Bigfoot could be a space alien, or which is why you don't find dead ones; they beam off into the craft.
Sure.
Or interdimensional being, which I know you laugh if you will, but it's all pretty weird, right?
Well, we're all talking about multiverses now and all that.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, and why not? What do you call them? Wormholes,
right?
In the universe,
Bigfoot comes out and just
that's it.
Chewy.
And then goes up to another planet in another universe, does the same thing.
I have no idea, but I think the fact that this story persevered, look at local radio. Of course, I mean, you'd cover a story like this.
Absolutely.
You'd be like,
you're more making fun of the person that told you the story than the actual story itself.
But it doesn't matter. You'd be making fun.
About it.
You're still talking about it. And then the newspaper's like, I'm going to put this to rest.
Right.
Duffy said, I'm going to write the story and talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like he followed the trail. And if you read the article, I mean, he really went from person to person.
Hey, is the article on our website?
No.
Oh, it usually is. I was setting you up there. I thought.
I know.
And
so
if you want to see it,
here's the thing. It's 1978, which means it is still under copyright, and it's so far back it's not on their website either.
Oh.
So,
wow.
But if we have access to the newspaper archives, which is how I found the article.
Yeah.
Which is a subscription service.
So you can't repost a newspaper article if it's still copywritten?
It's gray area.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm surprised.
So we gave it its due. But yeah, but it's there. It's there if anyone has access to the local library, they would have it. You don't need a subscription necessarily.
Just like when you can't spell a word, your parents would say, look it up. That's what Jeff's telling you to do right now.
Telling you to look it up. But this one's a little different. They really described it as half human and gave it that name, Goonyak, which is great, right? Maniac, Goonie. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just
I like it, though.
Speculating.
Better than Bigfoot.
I think it's absolutely a great name for sure. But yeah, and so we did a story on the TV series, the New England Legends TV series, about the monster of Coca-Cola Ledge in North Adams, Mass. Coca-Cola Ledge is this big cliff that looks over the town. And it was called Coca-Cola because many years ago, Coca-Cola had painted a logo on it. And now it's full of like graffiti and stuff. It's very easy to get to the top because it's kind of a gentle hill on either side, so you get up to the top. But if you fall off, that's a long drop. You're going to die. Like you're not going to get hurt. You're dead. And there's a monster up there, the monster of Coca-Cola Ledge. So the monster of Coca-Cola Ledge, by all accounts, is Bigfoot. Big, tall, hairy creature, that they say will get you if you get up there. And so I wonder if that's a story the parents are happy to help propagate because it keeps you safe from going up there.
We lack creativity, though. I mean, we just keep saying big hairy ape.
Right.
Ape man.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. He has big feet.
Yeah. Like, I have feelings too, right? It's like, I'm a person.
I want to hear that somebody had a conversation with this guy, an intelligent conversation. Yeah. That would be a story.
We're just misunderstood, man. Like, I can imagine.
Very hippie-ish.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
peace and love, peace and love.
Knows where the peyote is, the whole thing. So, hey, speaking of veering off course, as we do in these things, Queen Elizabeth died on September 8th.
I thought you were going to somehow tie those in.
Nope.
Goonyak, Queen Elizabeth.
It's
totally separate. Go ahead.
This is an absolute switching of gears here. Longest reigning monarch in England, and it's the end of an era, right? Not just for the UK, but for the world. I mean, our entire lives.
There's a very small population that was alive when she was...
You'd have to be over 70.
Something like that, yeah. I saw the percentage. It's very small.
Yeah, if you have to be over 70 years old to have been alive before she was even a thing. Now, here's the thing that made the news, and it relates to New England. A couple days after her death, there are royal beekeepers who went to the beehives and had to inform the bees that Queen Elizabeth has died and King Charles III is their new master. And as with so many things that are so quirky with the royal family in England, people are like, where does that come from?
Sure.
And this article said the best they could do is they found a reference to it in a 1901 book called New England Legends and Folklore by Samuel Adams Drake, which is a book we have referred to a bunch of times in the past. And there's a paragraph in the book, one little section that says it's a very old superstition that bees must be respected in all ways, and they need to be told when there's a death in the family of their masters, of the beekeepers. And so it's this superstition that, there's a queen bee and so on, and you have to inform them and you have to respect them. So there it is, a tie from the death of the Queen of England to New England legends.
What if they're so distraught that they attack don't kill the messenger, but what if they go after the messenger?
Or King Charles.
Or King Charles,
We will not make honey for that guy. The lady was so sweet. Not for him, though. I don't know.
Good for him. He finally got a job after 70-somewhat years, too.
I know, really. He was just waiting.
Holding on to that resume.
This is it. This is his big moment. So anyway, big feat, bees, talking to bees, and the death of a queen. We've kind of covered it all this week.
Please be sure to like and subscribe to our podcast and consider posting a review for us on Apple Podcasts. That goes a long way in growing our community so that we find even more great legends to share with you each week. Reach out to us anytime through our website if you've got a story you think we should check out.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Nuati Herbals. Thank you to our Patreon patrons, and our theme music is by John Judd.
Until next time, remember,
the bizarre is closer than you think.